What's going up, guys? It's Genie the Great back for another Ride With Me Wednesday. So it is nighttime, so it's really dark in my room and I have the flash on. So if I just look like a ghost right now, I'm sorry. But it is 10 o'clock at night and I only got 5 hours of sleep last night and I worked all day this morning. I had to get up really early for work and I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning and go to work at 6 o'clock tomorrow. And all I want to do right now is just sleep. I am so tired. But I have to put in the work. I have this goal I want to reach, and I want to be able to be a freelance editor and make my living that way. And I want to be a published author and have novels that I've written myself. And I'm going to have to put in the work to get there. What I've been doing lately, it's just putting in just enough work to stay exactly where I am. So I'm putting in work, I'm doing work, but just enough to stay where I'm at. And that's not good enough. I want to just keep moving forward. Because if you're not moving forward, you're not doing anything. At least for me, this is the way I feel. You know, coasting and staying where I'm at, I might enjoy where I'm at, but there's no point staying there. You gotta move forward. And that's what life is. It's just moving forward and progressing, so I'm just trying to progress and work harder, and all I want to do is sleep, but it's time to put in the work. So I'm going to work on chapter 4, the second draft, and just talk to you guys while I write a little bit. Again, sorry if I look weird. It's not that late. It's 10, but I haven't slept at all, and I'm exhausted. So I'm going to go ahead and start on chapter 4 and just talk to you while I do that. So in chapter 4, in the first draft, I really used it to time the novel and to tell the reader. I didn't want to say, oh, this novel's set in this year. So what I did was, in this chapter, in the first draft, I really brought up a lot of politics that was going on at the time, and I made the characters talk about that, and that really helped, and some other things, but that was a really key point where the reader said, oh, okay, so this is around what time it is. But now that I've changed the time, the year that this is set in, I have to completely change this chapter. It's not like the last one where I just got to change a few things. I have to completely rewrite it. But I also kind of want to do the same thing and time the novel. Set the setting. But I have to do some research first, because I guess I could do it politically like I did in the last draft. Yeah, I think I'll do that, but I don't know much about the politics of the new time that I picked because I was not alive then. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research, and you know, people might not think of this, but writing a novel is a ton of fucking research. Like, especially if it's not directly like an experience you've lived, like completely, like if there's any fiction whatsoever, pretty much you have to research. And especially for me, I'm writing in a time that I was not alive about something I haven't quite experienced. So there's a lot of research. But that's cool because you get to learn new things. So going back and reading the first chapter after it's been so long since I've written it, because I've surprised myself both with good and bad writing. So last chapter I read and I was surprised about how good it was, because it was only the third chapter, and I think my writing got better towards the end of the novel, but I don't know, there was just some things in that chapter that really stood out to me, and I was surprised that I did that. And this chapter, I think, is kind of the opposite. Like, I reread the chapter, and I pretty much don't like any of it. I like the idea of a couple of the actions that take place, but most of it's just like cliche and bizarre, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna change it, but I don't know what to replace it with. So I know I don't want to write the same thing, but I don't know what to write. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with now. But I guess, like, for me, when I have writer's block or I don't know exactly what to write, I just start typing. Like, no matter what it is, even if I know I'm gonna delete it, I just start typing, because that's it. That's all writer's block is. It's just, you know, being afraid to start or not knowing how to start. So literally just starting fixes the problem. And I guess that's how a lot of things are. When you're anxious to do something or afraid to do something or don't know how to do something, as long as you start doing it, even if it's the wrong way, you're going to learn how to get to the right way. And you already got past the big hump of starting the project. So I think that's how a lot of things are. And for me, like, wanting to go to sleep right now and not wanting to film, just wanting to go to sleep and not do anything, I just had to start the video. I just had to start writing, and that's it. That's all life is, really. And I don't know, for me personally, that just applies to so many things in my life where I just have anxiety or I'm just lazy or something like that. But literally just starting it is the hardest part. And then from there, it's really enjoyable and you can learn a lot, and that could be applied to pretty much anything. And look where it got me. I have the first draft of an entire novel written, and I'm working on the second one. So with that big rant, I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, start typing the next part. And if I delete it, I delete it. No big deal. At least I'll get to the right spot then. Alright, so I got a page done, and I think that's a good starting point. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know how much I'm going to keep of that, how much I like, but I don't ever read it after, like, directly after I write it. I have to wait a day or 2 days and then come back and then figure out what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. But yeah, tomorrow, because I go into work so early, I have to get off early. And I'm going to go to the library and look at some editing books. So I've been kind of researching freelance editing, and there's quite a few books out there that are standard practice for editors to learn. And I'm going to go to the library and check out a couple of those and then maybe study up on those. So yeah, I'll take you guys along for that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so I'm at the library now. Just gonna get my stuff and go work on some stuff. Just got off work. It's 3 o'clock. I was there since 6. But yeah, so I'm actually a freelance editor. I don't know if you knew that. Some of you guys knew that. But I'm gonna go look at some editing books that they have in here and pretty much just study up. So I'm gonna do that for a while, and I'm gonna take you guys with me. Okay, so new plan. I went in there and they didn't have the book I was looking for. I looked it up on the computer before I came here, but and it said they had it, but this is just a branch of the Nashville Public Library. So it was actually at the Nashville location, not this one, which now the lady did show me where it tells you what library it's at though, so that won't be a problem anymore. But I actually have a book being held for me at my local library, and it's another editing handbook, and I can actually check that one out. Here, I don't live close enough to have a library card, but at the other one, I have a card. Oh, man. But I thought I wouldn't have enough time to get there and pick it up, but now I have enough time to get there and pick it up. They're holding it for me. I'm gonna go get that and go study, and yeah, so I'll see you guys when I get that one. I got the book, and now I'm just gonna sit down and pretty much study with it. It's kind of weird, the girl who like checked out the book for me, the one who was behind the counter, she's like someone I used to go to school with, and I was like best friends with her older sister, and it's so fucking weird. Every time I come here, I see someone else that I knew from high school or before then, And it's just always the most fucking awkward thing. But yeah, I'm actually in a little study room. And they're probably gonna kick me out because I don't have a reservation to be in this room. But whatever, I'm gonna study as much as I can until that happens. So meaningful. So meaningful. I'll always remember that day in September. I never thought you'd leave me. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, how are you? So that girl that I said that I saw, that was really fucking awkward, just saw her mom and she recognized me too. It's the worst. Alright guys, so I'm back home. I read that book a little bit and then just left. I packed a notebook to take notes and study out of the book and stuff, but it turns out that the notebook I brought was completely full of like writing and stuff like that. So just like some old stories and stuff. So that didn't work out, but I went and bought some notebooks and now I'm back home. I'm honestly probably just gonna play a movie and read that book a lot. It's pretty much like a textbook. It's really like not entertaining whatsoever. It's just informational. Just reading those few pages, I learned so much, which is good because as an editor, I want to be as good as I can and be as helpful as I can to people. So yeah, I'm really glad that I learned that stuff already, but I'm just gonna sit and watch and kind of tune out the video and kind of focus on the book. And then after that, I'll probably write for an hour or so. And I'm not gonna film that because I just showed you guys that earlier on in the video, so I'm just gonna call it here and see you guys tomorrow. Alright, what's going up, guys? So, today is actually Sunday, and I'm just going to be writing a little bit more, and I'm just going to make this quick and wrap up the video in this session. But yeah, still working on the 4th chapter of the 2nd draft. It's going pretty well. I think I'm about halfway through it. Right now all I'm doing is checking the 1st draft and seeing what else I have left to do before finishing. Oh, actually I'm a little less than halfway through. I have about 4 or 5 more pages to write in this chapter. So I'm just checking, I'm looking at my computer by the way. I'm just checking what's in the 1st draft, what actions I want to take and what's missing. So right now I have the setup for like the main action of this chapter. So I have to write the action, like the big thing that takes place, and then a second follow-up thing that kind of is more of an emotional scene that kind of lets you get inside the character's head a little bit. So I have the main action to take, the exciting part, and then the follow-up to that, which is just kind of shows more inside the characters and gives you a little bit better idea of who the people are. So I don't really know how to what to write right now. I know the action, but I don't know how to approach it because what I wrote in the 1st draft I didn't really like at all, so I'm trying to change it up, but I don't really know what I want to do about it. I want to make it more realistic and less cliche and less kind of out there. I want to make it more relatable and kind of just more realistic, and that's what I'm working on now. I just have to finish writing that action up, and then I'll probably call it. But yeah, I've been studying a lot for the editing stuff. Got this editing book, which you saw in the last clip. Reading a lot of that, and now I'm just gonna start typing this. I'll probably wrap this up after this session, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and write, and see you guys in a second. So one thing that I think I did wrong in the last in the last draft is just like not really focusing on the realism of the situation that these characters are in. So I have, the main character is a young girl, and she was out of school, and I addressed like once or twice that it was summer and that she wouldn't be in school, but I noticed that my novel, it spanned longer than a summer vacation would be. So I'm kind of fixing that now, where she was taken out of school and then it was summer vacation to give me a little extra time, and I've addressed that fact and just kind of addressed more of the realistic side of things. So before, a lot of things would just kind of get, you know, not mentioned or mentioned once and then forgotten, and in real life we'd be like, wait, this deserves more attention. So I'm trying to give those little things more attention and explain them a little bit better to make it more realistic. And realism is just a huge part of writing, and if it's not realistic, or if it's not believable, so even if it's not realistic, like Harry Potter's not realistic, but it was made to be believable because the characters acted in a real way. Alright, so I just wrote a little bit. Sorry that clip got cut out, but what I was saying is that writing has to be believable, even if it's unrealistic, like a fantasy story or anything like that. It doesn't work unless you make the characters act in a way that would be believable if that situation actually took place. So even if it's a fictional story, if it's something fantasy or something that's mythological, anything like that, you still have to make the characters appear human and seem realistic, or people won't be into it. And that's what I was kind of working on in this chapter to fix from the last draft. So I just added a couple more pages and wrote for a while. But I'm going to call it here, and I'm also going to wrap up the video. I just finished the main action, so I just have that follow-up action to finish in the chapter. Other than that, I'll be finished probably in the next day. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, got out of the house a little bit and changed it up. I hope to bring you guys some more content and a variety of content. I don't want to just write in my room every single Wednesday video. But let me know what you guys want to see. I'll take your suggestions. But that's pretty much going to do it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay motivated, stay inspired, and stay happy. See ya.